Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into this week's edition of Madden predicting Carolina Panthers' success against the Atlanta Falcons, who we will be going into Falcons territory this week to, hopefully maintain the undefeated record against the NFC South so far this year. And that's only one game, so not super impressive. As we know, we are super disappointed with how this team has played over the past 4 weeks. We're hoping that this could be a get-right game for this team. If not, there's a lot of big question marks that are going to be coming down from on high. I got my one and true friend, One Carolina, a fellow content creator for the Carolina Panthers over on YouTube. Joining me today, we've got the magical voices that are going to be coming in to help, tickle those eardrums. How are you doing today?
CK, I'm doing really good. I'm super excited about this matchup against the Atlanta Falcons, who we don't like. These are two teams who do not like each other. We don't like them. They don't like us, and that's quite all right. This should be an interesting matchup.
Absolutely. We're going to start right up. Their first drive, it's already a 3rd and 9 for the Falcons. Matt Ryan takes the snap. He's looking. He's going to air it out, and it's going to be picked off by the new Carolina Panthers. Stephon Gilmore coming down with an interception on the opening drive, which you hope to see from a defense who has not gotten a lot of turnovers the past few weeks.
CK, we knew this guy was going to be special. He comes out of New England. He's got Super Bowl pedigree. You want to see that, and we're seeing it early.
Seeing it early, and they talked about this week how he is super smart, that he is already running our wide receivers routes for them in practice. Don't know if that's a good thing for our offense or just a really good thing or a bad thing for our offense or a good thing for our defense. Sam Darnold takes the snap, finds himself a Chuba Hubbard who's going to actually catch the ball this week, gets that over the goal line or the line to gain, bringing up a new set of downs here in the first quarter, getting this drive started off right.
Yeah, CK, you really want to see Chuba Hubbard get involved in more than just a running game. He's been a solid running back in for the injured Christian McCaffrey, but seeing him be able to catch passes, especially gain a first down in the process, is really rewarding.
Absolutely. I know they want to get this run game started, but you got to make sure that the passing game can get on point as well. Sam Darnold doing the drops the way you hope to see him. He's not getting too happy with his feet, and he gets that completion there right over to Robbie Anderson, getting a new set of downs. 5 minutes left in the first quarter. And
the protection was excellent. Sam Darnold's patience in the pocket was excellent. You just like to see more of that moving forward, as he's had some trouble here lately, but it's good to see him get some momentum going.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we see Sam Darnold taking the snap out of the shotgun, dropping back to pass again, looking downfield, finds Robbie Anderson again, taking it across the 20 of the Atlanta Falcons, making sure they're going to capitalize on that turnover. Carolina Panthers driving very successfully into the Atlanta Falcons red zone.
Man, that's great to see. Robbie's had some trouble with drops lately, maybe have lost a little confidence. But when you see here, Robbie just runs a straight go with a short comeback. And man, what a catch. Especially when you know you're about to get blown up in the process. It's great to see that.
It's amazing to be able to see those two connecting again. Would like to see DJ Moore in here, but here's Chuba Hubbard out of the backfield, getting that run game going right up the middle and taking that up to the 11-yard line.
Yeah, Chuba Hubbard's been a really good addition. Matt Rule talked about how he played against him so often back in the college days, and his wife had that whole story about the draft situation and wanting to see him brought in. So he's been a great addition to this team. You'd like to see them continue with the run game here.
Absolutely, especially in the absence of CMC. They're going to get it right over to Ian Thomas, who takes it across the 5-yard line. Ian Thomas, another big part of this offense that we were hoping would be a breakout tight end. Has been somewhat of a disappointment, but he shows up there in that play at the very least.
And CK, it's interesting because Ian Thomas has really come around this year. He started to, make some plays, and it seems like he just gained more confidence over time.
Absolutely. Incredible play action right there. Looks like right over the middle. Tommy Tremble, 2 tight end plays back-to-back. Sam Darnold getting rid of the ball quickly to get a touchdown, giving the Panthers the first touchdown on the day.
You said it, CK, the rookie out of Notre Dame, touchdown Tommy Tremble. This is something that we should see quite often. What I really love to see here was Joe Brady's decision to go play action after a run. You want to see more of that, giving your quarterback a good opportunity to get some easy reads and some easy completions, and that's what it leads to, just moving the ball down the field.
Yeah, that's an incredible drive there off of a turnover. That's what you really hope to do. That's what we've been talking about. We want this defense to get turnovers, and we want not only for that to happen, but this offense to be able to capitalize on those turnovers. They were able to do that there. giving the Carolina Panthers the early lead, 7-0, with 3 minutes left in the first quarter as the Atlanta comes back out on the field, hoping to be able to capitalize on another drive and hoping that things don't continue to get worse for them.
Yeah, you talked about defense, and we talked about, the ability to be able to create turnovers. I think a lot of that comes from the ability of Stephon Gilmore and the press man covers that you're going to see. That gives, defense a lot more opportunity to rush the passer, and that's just going to create a nightmare scenario for Matt Ryan.
Yeah, you're not wrong, especially with one of the best defensive lines when it comes to run. Oh, look at that. Ooh. Right up the middle, Morgan Fox comes down with the sack as we were talking about the defensive line. Bringing up a 10-yard loss down to the 15-yard line of the Carolina Panthers, or their own 15-yard line, I should say. Incredible play there by that defensive line.
CK, this guy has an absolute nose for the quarterback. Let's not forget that he stood beside Aaron Donald last year and registered 7 sacks on his own. He's come to Carolina to make a name for himself, and he's doing just that right now.
Yeah, he's definitely been a key addition along with Hassan Reddick. This offseason, this defensive line is number 1 in the NFL in winning against pass block win rate. So very good defensive line production that we're seeing, as Madden also predicts that. 3rd and 15 here. Matt Ryan just checks it down and not able to get anywhere. That was Patterson, I believe, taking it up to the 26, bringing up a 4th down and 9 yards to go. You got to think they're going to punt him here.
Yeah, they're definitely going to punt it here. They hit. You got Sam Franklin, who hit Cordell Patterson in the flat. Sam Franklin and Matt Rule, guys coming out of Temple. Man, this guy's really flying all over the field. He's making great plays. It's good to see him get some confidence and keeping things going, especially coming off of a season last year where he was asked to play a big role as a rookie. And so you love to see that. And he's just a contributor. He contributes on special teams, contributes on defense. I think this kid's going to be a good player for a long time, CK.
For a very long time. That's the hope. And we're seeing that a lot of these interesting additions between Frankie Louvu, Sean Chandler, obviously Hassan Reddick, Morgan Fox, these people that, came here looking for the ability to prove that they were elite, are coming in here and doing what they need to do to keep food on the table, and they're making it happen. It's going to be a handoff to Chuba Hubbard, who goes right up the middle, breaking through tackles left and right, pushes it across the 35-yard line to the 37. Great rush there by Chuba Hubbard.
A 9-yard carry. We've seen trips right. Chuba's lined up in the backfield. We got a really, really good play call there. Atlanta's run defense is one of the bottom in the league. And so, anytime you can create this kind of, mismatch between your linebackers and the running back, this is a really good play call. And it's just a good heads-up run by Chuba Hubbard with great protection.
Absolutely. Looks like we're going to be bringing up a 1st and 20 off of a holding penalty that is not shown in this video. Sam Darnold dropping back all day. He's going to air it out to the right. It looks like he finds Terrace Marshall Jr. He breaks the tackle, and he gets it in for the touchdown. Terrace Marshall Jr. showing up today.
In the words of Steve Smith, this guy is going to take someone's job. I have been yelling, screaming from a mountaintop that Terrace Marshall Jr. deserves to be on the outside of this offense. And we see it here. Just a 50-50 jump ball. Watch him high point. You see him catch the ball. A lot of what you've seen in his LSU days, CK, this guy is a nightmare from both the slot and as an outside receiver. You look to see more of this as the game develops.
John, you're not wrong, man. That's somebody that we saw very, very effectively destroy defenses in the preseason. And yes, it was second team defenses, but he was still able to come out there and do what he needed to do to earn a job and actually take David Moore's job and give it to Terrace Marshall Jr. Terrace Marshall Jr. doing what we were hoping he was able to do there, getting the touchdown, giving the Carolina Panthers a nice cushion going to the end of the first quarter here.
We can't slack up, CK. This team has high output offensively. They can make a run here.
Absolutely, and that's not what you want to see from a defense, letting those holes develop right up the middle. Cordell Patterson again gets a nice little push up the middle, gets 16 yards on that.
CK, I really love in the NFL to see a player who once came in as a high, output returner, who went to New England and kind of found a new lease on life as a running back. And so since he's, left New England, he's been able to utilize this opportunity and what he's been able to do as far as his running ability is concerned. And that's a pretty interesting thing that he's been able to do in the league and flipping himself over to a, dedicated runner.
It's not often you see a player become more successful by moving to running back. It's usually the opposite, right? You'll see a lot of these players go to a less contact position so that they can extend their career.
Right.
But Patterson clearly showing that he has got what it takes to be a long-term player in this league, and he's shown it by being on a lot of different squads here over the past few years. Matt Ryan hands off again. This is going to be to our boy Mike Davis, who's able to push it across the 50-yard line, giving them a new set of downs.
Mike Davis, who had over 1,000 yards from scrimmage last year with the Carolina Panthers, was a new addition to the Atlanta Falcons. He slacked up a little bit in the first few games here. He's kind of had some struggles, but it's good to see him pick up a run there.
Yeah, 3rd and 5 here, big time down as they're going into Panthers territory. Matt Ryan finds himself, that looks like Gage over the middle, gets him a nice little first down there to the 37-yard line of the Carolina Panthers. Or that was Ridley, my apologies.
Yeah, that's a really heads-up play, and that's a guy that you don't want to get in rhythm. Calvin Ridley is one of the better receivers in the NFL. He plays all kind of positions. He can run the whole extensive route tree. See a good tackle there, heads-up play by Jermaine Carter. Hopefully they can get these guys corralled up, keep them going.
New set of downs here, 3rd down and 9 now. Matt Ryan got all day, no pressure in his face. Beautiful pass and a better catch by Kyle Pitts on the sideline, taking it all the way to the 12-yard line. Kyle Pitts, a specimen if you've ever seen one.
CK, we knew this guy was coming, the rookie out of Florida. Matt Rule told the story early this week about how a scout told him about Kyle Pitts in high school, says, hey, you may want to recruit this guy. Obviously, we knew that Kyle Pitts was not going to go to Temple, but he did end up going to Florida and was a #1 pick.
An incredible pickup for this offense that lost Julio Jones in the offseason, and it is going to be a pass over the middle and a touchdown from Matt Ryan. Nice little play design there. Not great that our secondary is letting these holes develop. Gage, who makes that touchdown, cuts the lead from down to 7 as the Carolina Panthers have 14 and the Atlanta Falcons are up 7.
CK, you got to think here, slants are one of the harder routes to defend in the NFL. Shaq doesn't really close in. You kind of wonder if maybe some of that injury time off has kind of hampered some of his speed and his cutting ability. Being able to bounce back really fast is kind of hard in the NFL. So, give him a little pass there, but I think he'll kind of, warm up to the game, and we'll see a lot more easier defending of those kind of passes moving forward.
Yeah, 4 minutes left in the second half. You're hoping that this team can stop the bleeding here. The Carolina Panthers hopefully can get the momentum back on their side. But the Falcons have a lot to play for as they're on a big-time win streak here. And Sam Darnold gets sacked, holding on to the ball a little bit too long, something that we're all too accustomed to seeing the past 4 weeks.
And that's one of the more frustrating things that we've seen this year, but you can kind of understand why Sam would do this. As you can see, there's a single high safety up top. Sam's probably looking to take a shot. And, you just hold on to the ball too long. Sometimes you just got to go for your check down if it's available. We see DJ Moore on the outside on a breaking route. You just want to see him take the opportunity to go to the right receiver, instead of trying to make the really big play.
Absolutely, and that's going to give the Atlanta Falcons the ball now, and they're going to have the ball on the 34-yard line, giving them a short, a pretty decent field position to try to drive for a touchdown before the half. If this is something that if the Carolina Panthers can stop them here, it'll be a win and possibly give the Panthers an opportunity to score before the half. And it is going to be a completion across the middle. Matt Ryan finds his tight end, and that's a first down for the Falcons.
Yeah, brought down by Hassan Reddick, kind of playing a little out of position there. Hassan's known for rushing the passer, but when you got to play in the positions that you're on the field for, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, they like to run different personnel groups here, and that's something that we see all too often as Kyle Pitts now does another thing, and that's get a first down for this Atlanta Falcons. Kyle Pitts had a slow start to the season, and the past, I'd say during their win streak, these guys have turned it on.
Yeah, Matt Ryan is very well known for developing, relationships with his tight ends, relationship with his wide receivers. He takes these guys out in the offseason and kind of, gets to know them on a more personal level. You can't help but think that some of the conversations going on inside the room are starting to permeate to the field, CK.
Yeah, you're hoping that's going to happen. You lose a guy like Julio Jones, and there you go, Calvin Ridley again. Or no, that is not Calvin Ridley. My apologies. I keep on getting these guys. They all have similar numbers. That's a guy I cannot pronounce his name. Maybe you can help me with that.
Well, he just pronounced this. Hey, check out this route. Hold this.
He got the first down, and that gives them a new set of downs on the 28-yard line of the Carolina Panthers with 1 minute and 4 seconds left in the second half. And you're going to hope that they bend, not break here.
CK, these guys have got to find a stop.
And that was a catch. That was a beautiful pass. I did not even see who that was to there, but incredible play call. He didn't have very much separation. That was Calvin Ridley, of course, their best receiver, who has been in and out. I think he had 2 weeks ago he had a mental health situation where he needed to, or personal reasons, he missed some time on the field. He came back last week, and he's showing up again this week and showing to be a contributor as Matt Ryan takes the snap. Looks over the middle, finds himself Kyle Pitts again. Kyle Pitts is not able to get the touchdown. They mark him down at the 1 yard line.
CK, this is the one thing about this defense this year. When the pass starts getting really heavy, these guys kind of get winded. They've been on the field so much throughout the season. They're getting back from injuries, and it's hard to stop the bleeding, especially with the Falcons offense led by Matt Ryan, who is an MVP quality player. So hopefully we can get a stop here, goal line stand going into half.
That's the hope. It's on the 1 yard line. Matt Ryan with all day, no pressure. He is looking. He's not getting. And Brian Burns comes right to him. Gives him a big time loss. Backs him up to the 13 yard line. Brian Burns showing up again today.
Brian Burns, who Matt Ryan knows really well, from strip sacks to chase downs. Listen, Brian Burns is an incredibly special player who struggled a bit lately, but he's shown up big on the stat sheet in other areas. But obviously, when you're born and bred to sack the quarterback, it's the one thing we're going to look for. It's good to see him close there, not necessarily go for the strip, but go ahead and finish the sack.
Yeah, that's something he struggled with. And Kyle Pitts again gets the nod, and he gets it up to the 6 yard line, giving them a much more manageable third down situation here in the second half.
Real heads-up play by Shaq Thompson there. Good to see him tackle. He looks pretty healthy as the game is starting to go along. You start seeing him get those reps, both mentally and physically, that will both help the transition going into the next half.
Yeah, 16 seconds left, 3rd and goal from the 6. You got to hope that this defense can hold them strong here so that they can go into the half not being tied. Matt Ryan under center. Takes the snap. No pressure in his face, and he finds his guy again. The gentleman who is difficult to read his name, Zacchaeus, is what I would say, is able to get the touchdown there as they now close the gap to 14-14 all.
Yeah, Olamide Zacchaeus comes in as a guy who doesn't really get a whole lot of looks in this offense. But, of course, if you're open, the ball's coming to you. You got to think that the Panthers are going to go into halftime and try to put a stop to a lot of these passes that are coming out. Maybe play a little bit more man coverage, a hat on a hat. Try to get a little more physical with some of these routes. We saw a 2-deep look there, and they're just, taking advantage of these open, windows in the zone. So hopefully we'll see a little more difference coming out in the second half.
Yeah, with 2 seconds left in this half, you got to expect this is going to be the last play unless there is a pass interference call, which is possible when you throw a Hail Mary like this, and it is not going to be in the cards for them to get that Hail Mary to connect. That's going to bring up the second half. Talk to me about what you're seeing out of this team in the first half and what you expect out of them coming into the second half.
Well, it's kind of customary to what the Panthers have been doing throughout this season. We see consistency in the first half, 113 passing yards to 31 rushing yards. We hope to see them, get a little more aggressive on defense. Like I say, we've seen a lot of zone looks. I'd like to see a little more man. We got Stephon Gilmore now, so it gives you a little bit more flexibility in the backfield. But, seeing some good things from Sam Darnold. I'm liking the patience in the pocket. I'm enjoying to see the confidence that he has pushing the ball down the field, which has been a big problem. And hopefully we can come out and score some points in the second half, kind of cushion ourselves in a league to try to stop the bleeding of the Falcons' air raid offense.
Yeah, that's one thing you got to think about with regard to this offense. You got to keep your defense off of the field. One of the things that has been a defense for our defense has been that our offense has not allowed them the opportunity to rest at all. That has not been the case today. This team has definitely had some long, methodical drives, which you like to see, but also what you hope to see is a team that can come out in the third quarter and actually score points, which they have not been able to do very effectively all year. In fact, they are the worst third quarter offense in the entire league. You're hoping that stops today.
Which is honestly insane. There's really no other way to put it. When you have so much offensive firepower, you've got great weapons, good running back play, and a quarterback who's capable of getting it done. Let's see if Joe Brady's offense opens up.
And Chuba Hubbard finds himself an open hole there and gets all the way down to the 50-yard line, or close to the 50-yard line, without even being touched until he gets taken down. Big time play, great blocking up front by those offensive linemen there.
Yeah, CK, the story of this drive is those guards and Matt Paradis, that center. You see Dennis Daly open that A-gap up for Chuba Hubbard there, and you'd see a really, really cool, run there. You just want to see more of that just to set up a, play action pass or two here. So.
Yeah, you're hoping so. And the run game, that is a play action. Actually, I thought that was going to be a handoff there, just like I think the defense probably thought, as Terrace Marshall Jr. gets the nod again, and he gets it across the 50-yard line to the 43 of the Falcons. What you like to see, right on cue there.
Absolutely, CK. And that's what we've been talking about all week long leading up to this game. Make the game simple for Sam Darnold. Run, play action pass, roll him out. Sam Darnold's really good on the run. He can extend plays. You just want to see more of that being done.
A play action right here again. Sam Darnold with all day. Finds DJ Moore for an acrobatic circus catch on the sideline. DJ Moore showing what type of a talent he is right there.
Man, this guy has just turned himself into one of the better receivers, if not the best receiver or top 5 in the league. I know I have a little bit of bias here, but DJ Moore has become special. We've been looking for kind of that replacement guy for one Agent 89 for quite some time, and I think he's starting to fit the bill quite well.
Fitting the bill indeed, and a couple of struggles the past few weeks, also with the help of a quarterback that hasn't been getting the ball very effectively, but there we find he's able to get the ball to Ian Thomas across the middle, bringing up a new set of downs to the 14 of the Atlanta Falcons. Great drive to start out the second half.
CK, you got to think that Matt Rule and Joe Brady sat down and said, listen, we know that you come from an offensive system that is, predicated on a ton of different route concepts, but let's simplify this thing. Let's get the tight ends involved. Let's get some play action going. If we can run the ball, we can keep the defense honest, and that's what you're seeing here. You're seeing Ian Thomas get involved. You're seeing Terrace Marshall, DJ Moore. That's what you want to see from this team moving forward.
Yeah, that's a big-time decision to kind of spread the ball around. Chuba Hubbard makes his way down to the 2-yard line, picking up another chunk there, giving them a new set of downs. It'll be 1st and goal. Carolina Panthers knocking on the door.
I'm convinced that they continue to run the ball with Chuba Hubbard. He can have 200 yards rushing today. This Falcons run defense is struggling. They've got some really good players there. Grady Jarrett, who's having a good season, but they've just kind of struggled against the run for quite some time now. Kind of makes you wonder about the identity that they, are trying to establish down there in Atlanta. But let's see if they can get a stop here at the goal line.
Yeah, Sam Darnold is going to be a handoff to Chuba Hubbard, who pushes its way through a defender right into the end zone. Chuba Hubbard getting some really hard yards there to get that touchdown.
Yeah, Chuba Hubbard with a really, really distinctive run. He has so many different multiple running abilities. On some runs he's really patient, more Le'Veon Bell. Some he can be a bruiser like Mike Davis we've seen before him. And he can even run between the tackles like any of the great running backs do. But right here we see him just absolutely run through Grady Jarrett, who had a lick on him right there. Just watch this. This is just pure grit. Stiff arm, Grady Jarrett, peace out, end zone, pay dirt.
It's something that you love to see from a running back, as we have not had an effective run game for far too long. Christian McCaffrey's injuries mixed with running backs that do very well to start out and then kind of fizzle off there, with Mike Davis as being a key point of emphasis there last year. Had a fantastic start to the year, was killing defensive lines. Then he kind of fell off a little bit. That could be a contributing factor, as we move forward to see if this run game can continue to actually excel. Matt Ryan, all day, nobody in his face. He's going to find himself another receiver across the middle there. I'm not sure who this is. Again, that might be Gage. But they get the first down, bringing it up to the 39-yard line.
Matt Ryan to Russell Gage. CK, what we see here, Matt Ryan is an expert with hitch. What do I mean by hitch? Look at his drop. His feet match the route, and it's perfect. It gives a wide receiver just enough time to create separation from one of the best in the business in Stephon Gilmore. But we see a pretty good pass right there, and, hope to see Carolina get a little more press man going here.
Yeah, that's what this defense is built on, is being able to play that man coverage and allow these defensive linemen to get some pressure on the quarterback. Matt Ryan almost intercepted there. A missed opportunity, as our favorite coach would have said a while ago, but that brings up a 4th down, and they're going to punt the ball away anyway.
That looked like a missed opportunity for Sean Chandler or Shaq Thompson. It was a little hard to see them as they were bunched together, but you just love to see that. Sean Chandler, a young guy, want to see him get some more opportunities just due to injuries to Miles Hartfield and Justin Burris. But, man, what a missed opportunity there, CK.
That looked like it was going all the way to the house as well. I don't think there was a single person that could have stopped him as he was breaking on that ball. Big missed opportunity, but the Carolina Panthers get the ball back. That was an incredible punt. It's going to put them into the 3-yard line of their own territory here. Sam Darnold under center. You got to think it's going to be a run. No, they're going to pass it here. Gutsy play call, and DJ Moore catches across the middle, bringing it up to the 18-yard line, giving them some breathing room.
CK, we've seen this in the Minnesota game where Sam Darnold went on a drive to tie the score at 28. The end zone does not scare this guy. He's not afraid of, to take the punishment of a potential sack, but he delivers a perfect ball to DJ Moore to pick up the 1st down.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that in the first 3 games, and that's turning it on here again. And another great catch by DJ Moore on the sideline, almost identical to the one earlier, taking them up to the 44-yard line. Big-time play there.
CK, Sam Darnold is playing out of his mind, and everything's working together perfectly. The protection looks great. His drops look great. He's seeing the field really well. You got to think some of this is coming off of the heels of hearing about Watson all week long. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to show you who I am. I'm going to establish myself as the future of the Carolina Panthers at quarterback.
John, I think you're absolutely right. I think it's also very clear that he had an opportunity to come in here and do very bad and use all of those same reasons as an excuse, and he didn't. He's actually doing a fantastic job distributing the ball across the field. Not one player is getting the ball more than the other. It seems pretty even across the board as he connects with Ian Thomas there, bringing up a new set of downs.
CK, I got to tell you, this Ian Thomas kid is really pleasing me this year. It's just amazing to see the development of this guy. I think a 3rd or 4th round pick out of Indiana. Kind of struggled a little bit in the beginning, just, a lot of big shoes to fill with Greg Olsen stepping away. And, it's just good to see him get, find himself within this offense, find himself as a player. And, there was a lot of talk over the summer about whether they were going to keep him with the Tommy Tremble acquisition. But, man, Ian Thomas has shown up really big today, and hopefully he can keep this going throughout the season.
Yeah, 3rd down and 2 here. Chuba Hubbard gets some hard-fought yards there again, giving them a new set of downs as we go into the 4th quarter here. They are pushing again, hopefully trying to create a two-possession game here with this drive. Carolina Panthers, again, still being methodical, very effective with timing. I think that's something that I'm seeing today is Sam Darnold isn't doing those super shallow drops. He is actually doing a very good job in going through his progressions without eyeing down his receivers. This is an incredible game so far today for this offense.
Yes, sir.
Sam Darnold, he's going to drop back. He's got some pressure. He's going to go out right. He throws back across his body and finds Ricci across the middle, who I don't think is going to be in this game, but, Madden's got him in there anyway, so we'll go ahead and go with it.
Giovanni Ricci with an absolute great reception. It's rare to see a fullback outside of the Mike Tolbert days be able to catch a ball out of the backfield, but that's pretty awesome to see, and that was a great play call design. You saw the fullback and running back lined up in sort of a wing concept, but offered some block protection and pretty good play call there.
Yeah, Sam Darnold recognizing the pressure, rolling out right, getting that 1st down, big time play from this offense. Sam Darnold finds Ian Thomas across the middle. They're gonna rule him short. That looked like a touchdown to me, but big time play again for Ian Thomas, who's showing up big time today.
Yes, sir. Ian Thomas brought down by Deion Jones. To me, it looked like a touchdown, CK from up here, but his knee may have touched the ground before he was able to get into the end zone. Yeah, we'll see there. His knee definitely touched the ground there.
Absolutely, and this looks like it could be a good day here. Chuba Hubbard knocked back in the backfield, loss of 1. Not what you hope to see from the run game, as that just let every defender through. Looks like a great effective play call from this defensive line.
It's interesting, CK, because, this was a zone read concept. You kind of see the, like the old Cam Newton days where I can, pull it in and run if I want to, or zone read. It's pretty easy to read because Sam Darnold has been known to roll out to score a touchdown on the run, but not necessarily out of the zone.
And another situation where a defender comes untouched. That was Grady Jarrett, I believe. who we were just giving some credit to for being such a great player on this defensive line. He's able to tackle Chuba Hubbard in the backfield again for a loss of 2 yards. This is going to bring up a less confident 3rd and 4 here.
Yeah, CK, the Clemson product, Grady Jarrett, just a mammoth of a man breaking through, containment there and just, taking Chuba Hubbard down. This time he kind of had to get his face back from getting stiff-armed before, but let's see what Carolina does here on 3rd down.
Yeah, they're going to pass it here because the run game hasn't been as effective. Sam Darnold with all day looking. Ian Thomas, and he's going to throw it away. Ian Thomas looked like he was ready for the ball, who could have made a play for a touchdown there. Not a great decision to throw it away there, but better than an interception. They're going to take the points, giving them a 10-point lead going into the final 4 minutes of the 4th quarter.
And see, CK, those are the things that you see when you talk about simplifying the offense. You don't want to see these odd route concepts. You want to see something simple. Bunch formation, everybody, maybe a 2 tight end set there. You want to see Sam Darnold kind of roll out like we used to see in Cam Newton's days, where a guy kind of goes on a free release and is in the back of the end zone. He's wide open. So you just kind of want to see, Joe Brady simplify the offense down in the red zone there.
Yeah, that's one thing that I think we all have criticized is about Joe Brady's effectiveness as an offensive coordinator. There definitely failed. It's been not as bad this game for the first 3 quarters. Not great to see that happen there on the 4th, in the 4th like that. That's going to bring up a big 4th down conversion here for the Atlanta Falcons. If they get it, they're still alive. If they do not convert this, you got to think they're dead in the water here.
I would think so. Good 10-point cushion for the Carolina Panthers. You hope they can get a good stop here, get some momentum so we can get this win on the road.
Absolutely. 3 minutes and 14 seconds left as Matt Ryan takes a snap. He's going to find himself, gets the first down. That first and foremost, that looks like it was, again, our friend Calvin Ridley for the first down, and this drive is still alive.
Just an incredible catch by Calvin Ridley. How often did we see that at Alabama? Draped by 2 defenders, smacked as soon as the ball comes into your hands, but you hold on to it. That's just a gutsy play by a gutsy receiver.
Gutsy play is a great way to describe it. And he's got all David Hassan Reddick coming in and making his presence known there with a big-time sack, bringing up a 2nd and 22. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game. You got to think Sam Darnold's excited, as you can see there on the sideline. This might be what breaks this losing streak.
That may be the most excited and the most animated you'll ever see Sam Darnold, but you can understand for a good reason. Coming off of a 4-game losing streak, Hassan Reddick with his 7th sack of the season. CK, this guy is special. He is going to get a big contract, and we may even see Defensive Player of the Year talk for this guy going down the stretch.
Listen, he's that type of an impact player. You hope this offense and this defense can get some wins so that actually is a reality. It's tough to see these guys get any rewards when the team isn't playing well. But if we can actually string some wins together, that's definitely a possibility, as these guys are definitely fighting for it. Looks like Matt Ryan's going to drop back again to pass it. Looking over the middle, finds himself in the right side of the sideline there, finds his receiver for a big-time first down. Again, that's Russell Gage. That's a connection I don't think we get talked about enough. Russell Gage has been on this team for quite a while now, and that connection has always been solid between he and Matt Ryan.
CK, that was just great defense, better offense, a man look there, just one-on-one, just a really good play by Russell Gage.
And a better play by Kyle Pitts, who catches the ball. He reaches for the pylon. They are not going to give him the touchdown, but Kyle Pitts showing up again big in this game with this 4th quarter drive to try to keep their hopes alive in winning this game.
One of the things that I really would look forward to seeing this season was the matchup between Kyle Pitts and J.C. Horn. These guys go back to their college days where they matched up a few different times with Florida and South Carolina. You see Stephon Gilmore there with just excellent coverage, but Kyle Pitts is just a different guy, man. He's a freak of nature.
Yeah, a different guy who's able to get some yards after the catch, and there you go. Cordero Patterson gets his touchdown on the day. That's going to bring this lead down to 3 points for the Carolina Panthers. It's a 24-21 game with 1 minute and 20 seconds left in the 4th quarter, and you got to think the onside kick is coming up here.
CK, these guys have all their timeouts. Man, I tell you, the Carolina really only needs to get 1 first down. This is where I would go chugga Chuba Hubbard and allow him to pick up those yards for you to take this thing back to Charlotte.
You're absolutely right. Chuba Hubbard here. You got the offsides or onside kick here. And Terrace Marshall Jr. picks it up. Great hands to have on the hands team there as he continues to keep this ball in the Panthers' control. Minute and 20 seconds left before the Carolina Panthers can finally go home with a win, back on the win column, and hopefully change the fortunes that have happened over the past 4 weeks.
CK, you're right. I'm not sure who that guy was because he doesn't quite look like Matt Rule on the sidelines, but
that's Rat Mule.
What we'd like to see here moving forward, is just tempo, run, just grind. You saw a really, really heads-up play by Terrace Marshall there to recover the onside kick. 1 first down, and this thing is sealed. This is a great momentum opportunity for the Carolina Panthers to get a win on the road and take this thing home to get ready for New England next week.
You're not wrong, and the Carolina Panthers definitely need it. The fans need it more than the Panthers do as Hubbard gets up the middle. He has been running angry tonight. He gets some yards after the contact there and brings up a much more manageable 2nd and 2.
This is the kind of player that can establish himself inside of an offense and gain his own identity. We do know over time that this team has struggled through the loss of Christian McCaffrey, but somebody had to step up. Somebody had to say, I'm going to be the guy in Christian McCaffrey's absence. Chuba Hubbard has done a really good job at that.
He's been on a fantastic job as he gets the nod again here. As expected, he finds all day, and he's running back. Oh, nope, it looked like he was about to run into the opposite direction. He lost about 10 yards of his progress there, but they get the first down, and that's going to be ball game.
CK, you got to be careful in this situation not to do too much. You kind of want to just run a few. You don't have to reinvent the wheel in this situation. Pick up a first down. You got that already. Run the clock out. Allow Atlanta to use all their timeouts. You're in great position for the field goal, which is what they'll take here, which is a very interesting.
That's actually the end of the game.
A weird series of events there.
Yes, Madden is very interesting with these simulations, but that's going to give the Carolina Panthers the 3-point win over the Atlanta Falcons. They're going into Falcons territory and taking the win home. That's something you hope to see against this an offense that has been clicking on all cylinders the past few weeks in the Falcons, but this defense has done enough to come out and get the victory as well. What do you like to see out of this team come this Sunday? And what about this game gives you hope and optimism for the actual Carolina Panthers as we go into this week?
CK, I tell you, it doesn't matter. There's no love lost between these two ball clubs. They don't like each other, as I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast. We don't like them. They don't like us. But the one thing I love to see here is just the grit and the attitude. You're coming off a 4-game losing streak that can really demoralize a team, kind of get guys in a slump. But these guys are professionals. They get paid a lot of money to do a job that they really love. And so you really love to see them come out with a sense of urgency. They came out, really hot in the second half. Defense looked great in the second half, holding the Atlanta Falcons offense, at bay. And so what I want to see moving forward is just to, pick up off this momentum. It doesn't matter, how our season looks. We always are ready to play the Atlanta Falcons. You want to see that transition to the other teams out there and let the league know we're not afraid to play anybody, and we've got what it takes to beat anybody in this league.
That's something that's an interesting thought process, because this is actually one thing that we struggled with last year was closing out the close games. We were able to do it here. We were able to do it early in the season with the 3-game win streak that we were on. But these 4 games, some of them gotten out of hand. Some of them were very close, and we just weren't able to close it. We're hoping that's something that we can fix as time continues to progress. But a big-time win for the Carolina Panthers. If this happens to actually happen on Sunday, I know we're all going to be super excited. And, there's a lot of big-time competition coming down the line. But I do want to ask you, John, how can folks find you on the interwebs if they were to look you up on YouTube to try to look at your podcast, your show, and so on and so forth?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, CK. You can find me at One Carolina. That's ONE Carolina. Keep pounding everywhere. Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, even Facebook. One Carolina.
One Carolina, guys. Listen, we got 2 incredible voices to do this commentary this week. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Do me a favor, in the comments, tell me what your prediction is for this week against the Falcons, as the Panthers are going to hope to break this losing streak that they're on right now. Comment that. Hit that subscribe if you're new to the channel, because we do this every week. And also be sure to hit that notification bell so you know when we go live, when we post any new content. We're putting it out on the daily, it feels like, at this point. Just keep your eyes open, keep your ears to the ground, And, just keep chugging along. Friday free-for-all will be tomorrow, so just be looking out for that. Guys, I have one thing to say to all you legends. Keep pounding.